When I was watching videos, those were the ones that I watched. I wanted to hear from other people that had had hardships and how they survived and how they moved on. And so I thought, I'm going to do that. I'm going to come clean. I'm going to share the things that happened to my husband and I, and it wasn't, even though the video was just a few months ago, I was talking about what had happened like 8 years prior and other incidents up until now. Because some people said, well, this isn't new, this is old. And it's like, no, the story is 8 years old, but it led me to where I am now. And that's why I'm sharing it. I'm letting you know this is what happened and this is how we've overcome it. And this is, what we're dealing with. And since then, I tried to share more about, what we're doing to get past all that and to turn our lives around. And
I wake up in the morning with a smile on my face, feeling thankful for the love and the happiness we chase. Sun is shining brightly, sky so blue and clear. With every
my granddaughter is in the middle of all those inner tubes. I don't know if you can see her. She is having a ball. And Papa's out there with her, of course. How fun. And Nana's in here doing chores. Hey guys, let me see if I can get this camera right. Oh, how's that look? I can't see myself. I am blind as a bat. I can see with these if I get real close, but they're readers, but from the distance I still can't see. And I have those glasses, they're progressive, but you guys know those are what caused my knee injury, so I threw those away. Those were useless because of the depth perception. I ended up falling like 3 times within a few months, and I really jacked up my knee because of it. So like I said, for the most part, I just need my readers. I needed to see, my phone and everything from here, but just from a distance, I'm just a blur. It's terrible. I know, I'm blind as a bat. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about today. I wanted to tell you guys about this young guy he's creating YouTube videos on helping other content creators. And he's fairly new, he's young, but he's good. And I really appreciate his advice. He's not dishing out the same old, and since my channel has started growing recently, a lot of the new subscribers are also content creators themselves, and they've been asking me for advice, on how I've been growing my channel. And I had the audacity to actually put out a video a few months back about, what I thought you should do to grow your channel, because obviously I knew what I was doing, and now I cringe at the thought of it. How dare I? For me, it's been luck. Let's face it. It's been nothing but luck. I don't have any fancy equipment. I don't write a script. It's just, I think it's because people can relate to me. Like I said, my life isn't glamorous and it's not rainbows and sunshine. I've had a lot of hardships. And as a matter of fact, the video that brought in the most subscribers and I've gotten the most views on, I've gotten like 54,000 views on it, was the one where I came clean and told you guys everything bad that had happened and why I'm in this position. And I got so many comments, so many people related to that story, because, life isn't, rainbows and sunshine for a lot of us. And I think people are looking for other people they could relate to. And before that, I had tried to put out the most helpful, upbeat videos I could, because, that's what I want. I want to help other people. I wanted to inspire them. And so I was kind of sharing my journey of how I got out of my depression and how I was losing weight, getting my health back, getting in the workforce. But I didn't share the crap, the bad stuff, because I didn't want to come off as whiny or complainy. But finally, I noticed when I was watching videos, those were the ones that I watched. I wanted to hear from other people that had had hardships and how they survived and how they moved on. And so I thought, I'm going to do that. I'm going to come clean. I'm going to share the things that happened to my husband and I, and it wasn't, even though the video was just a few months ago, I was talking about what had happened like 8 years prior and other incidents up until now. you know, because some people said, well, this isn't new, this is old. And it's like, no, the story is 8 years old, but it led me to where I am now. And that's why I'm sharing it. I'm letting you know this is what happened, and this is how we've overcome it. And this is, you know, what we're dealing with. And since then, I try to share more about, you know, what we're doing to get past all that, and to turn our lives around. And some of it's working, but to get back to that, you know, trying to create videos that, you know, do well. You know, I thought it was more about tags and the right thumbnail. And, you know, I would listen to all these content creators that's what their YouTube channel is about, and they tell you do this, you got to do this, you got to post at this time and not at that time, and you got to, you know, all the things you got to do. And I would do all that, and none of it seemed to make any difference. It really didn't, you know. And so then I just watched other content creators, and I thought, well, what grabs my attention? What do I like to watch? And that's what I decided to go on. You know, I like, even though I do watch some that are kind of glamorous and, you know, aesthetically pleasing, as I say, I also like to watch real people and listen to people that I feel like are relatable to me in my situation, because I'm not, you know, I don't have a major fancy degree. I went to school to be an herbalist. I call it my hippy dippy degree. I have 2 degrees, one in holistic science and then one as an herbalist. And I didn't get those till later on in life. And they were personal degrees. They weren't for a career. So, you know, they're nothing really to talk about. But so I just felt like I couldn't relate to a lot of these people that were way smarter and more professional and successful than me. I'm just a blue collar worker, me and my husband, and we were even considered, I went online and I found out that we were considered upper poverty level. All these years I thought we were just middle class, but when you live in California, you have to make over a certain amount of money to be considered middle class. And we barely made that. I mean, we do better now that we're older, but for years and years, we made way less than that. But I didn't know. Nobody told me we were poverty. But anyway, so yeah, I made a video talking about all that. And I think that is what brought in a lot of my subscribers, because they could relate to that. Well, now, like I said, I stopped listening to all those YouTube channels that tell you, you got to do this, you got to do that. You guys know, if you listen to them, don't work. Well, now there's this new young man, and his name is JB. I should have said that in the beginning, and I'll leave a link to him in the description of this video. But he gives real advice. He gives honest, helpful advice, and I think you guys, if you're looking to grow your channel, would appreciate listening to him. And he's doing really well, and I hope he does even better, because he's honest. And these other people are just telling us what we want to hear. He's letting you know it's not easy to grow your channel. It takes a while. But if you love it, it's not a big deal. I love doing this. And I'll put out a video every day. Sometimes 2. I put out 3 a day, not often. But I don't take a lot of time off, and it's okay. It's not like a regular job where I feel I have to. I enjoy it. I love talking to you guys. I love hearing from you guys. The only problem that I'm having now recently is, as my channel is growing and I'm getting more subscribers and people that comment, I'm finding it more and more difficult to comment back to them, because I want to talk to you guys. But, you know, when you get so many comments, you know, it's like, it takes a long time. So I'm not ignoring you guys. I do appreciate hearing from you. But yeah, I can see why some people hire people to help with that. But then that wouldn't be fair, because that wouldn't be me. I want to respond to you. So I'm trying to find time, but I notice my comments are getting shorter and shorter. But I do appreciate you guys. It really helps. And I like getting to know you. So, and you're a big part of why I do this, why I enjoy it. Because, you know, once I opened up and I started telling my story, and I found others could actually relate to me. I wasn't alone. I wasn't the only big dummy that made all these mistakes. It made me feel so much better. I needed that, you know, because if you hold stuff in your head, it festers and it becomes a bigger problem than it is. And now that I've opened up the fact that my husband and I'm 63, 64, we can't afford to retire right now. And that was embarrassing to admit. People are like, why? what were you doing wrong? You guys made good money. Why didn't you invest? Why didn't you save? And I'm like, well, we didn't invest because we didn't know about investing. Our families never taught us that. And I know everybody's like, well, it was on TV. Didn't you ever watch TV? And it's like, I don't know where my head was, but we didn't. To us, it was risky. Investing was risky. We didn't know. You know, now that we're older, we're learning about investing. Yes, we've started doing that thanks to our son. As far as saving, we did save. We scrimped and saved, and we bought a home. But then, like I tell you guys in older videos, life happened, and we needed to use a lot of that money that we had hoped to put away just for our retirement. We had to live off of that for a period of time. You know, when my husband got let go of his job of 30 years without any warning. And then again, when I had to quit working to take care of my sister. And then my husband had a heart attack. And, you know, things just happened that nobody expected. And thank God we had our savings to live off of. But now, you know, we're older, we have to rebuild it if we want to retire ever. You know, so we're holding off. Thank God we're both healthy and strong, and we can work. And I talk a lot about that. But then the job market sucks. Right now, nobody wants to hire me. You know, I come in with my 2 herbalist degree and my holistic science, and they're like, yeah, well, this is useless. You know, I can teach art, but you know what? They're cutting out all those kind of programs in our school system and stuff. There's less and less of that. I had to go on my own to teach classes. I had to do it self-employed. I started teaching community art classes and teaching classes out of my home. And that worked wonderfully. I did that for years and I made great money. But after COVID, I went back to work and taking care of my sister. Other people had filled that niche. So it's not needed. And I've just been trying to find regular mediocre jobs. But even those jobs, they pay minimum wage for one. Nobody wants to give you any hours. There's no such thing as full-time. I mean, if it's reserved for just a select few people are fortunate to get full-time. Old people like me, 63, and yeah, I say old a lot. It's not a dirty word. I'm an older woman, and so I'm not as hireable. I'm not as desirable as the younger people. And I get it. I don't resent it. I get it. Maybe I resent it a little. But so yeah, what's available is minimum wage jobs, minimum hours, no benefits, no pensions. And I have to take what I can get. And what I could get was Uber. And that's what I'm doing. And it's been good. You know, it isn't good for everybody. A lot of people have tried it and it didn't work for them. I think it depends on your area. It works good for my area. But right now, even I am in a summer slump. It's slowed down. Everything slows down in the summer. Everybody's out having fun and on vacation and the kids are home from school and nobody's got time. But it'll pick up again in the fall. I'm holding out, so I'm trying to be positive, and I'm hanging in there. I'm going to go do Uber tonight after I clean the house, which I'm going to show you. You know, it was a typical Sunday around here. We had to wash cars and do laundry and dishes and all the stuff you do on the weekends. You know, if you work during the week, you work on the weekends too. Really taking care of your stuff, which is a whole other video I need to do about. Someday we want to get rid of all our stuff. Well, not all our stuff. I like my stuff. I've told you guys that. I want to get maybe little less stuff, a little bit smaller place. And we want to be able to travel more, but we always want to have a home base. I am all over the road, right? I can talk about everything. What I meant to talk about was just, I wanted to share this new guy with you guys. I want you to go watch him because like I said, a lot of you have been asking, you know, how I grew my channel. I think it's luck. And I do listen to people like this that I feel like, you know, have some good advice. And I try to do some things, you know, differently. I'm trying to bring more content. It used to just be me talking to you in the same spot every time. And you could tell how nervous I was. And for some reason that goes away eventually. I'm more comfortable talking to you guys. I think because you guys have been so nice about it. You've been encouraging and made me feel comfortable. I don't feel as awkward as I used to, because I did. And when I first started, I got a lot of trolls. That's normal too, but you know, eventually I've weeded them out and blocked them, and so that helps. I don't put up with that because that'll really, you know, cut your self-esteem down. And because you know, like I said, nobody's gonna agree with you 100%, and that's fine. I don't want everybody to agree. I don't want to be in an echo chamber. I'm just sharing my life. If you can relate to it, great. If you can't, then find a channel you can relate to, but don't berate me and tell me what a big dummy I am for being at this point in my life. I know I've made a lot of mistakes, but anyway, how long have I talked? Oh, not too bad. I still, I might have to edit this down a little bit, but yeah, like Jay said, it's not all about all the fancy equipment and having to do fancy thumbnails and all that stuff. You got to be yourself. You got to be honest, and you got to have honest. I got to finish my words. You got to be honest. You got to be real, and you got to have something people want to watch. No matter how honest or real or wonderful you are, if you don't have content that people can relate to or want to watch, they're not going to watch you. It's just that simple. I watch all kinds of videos. There's so many fun ones, and I enjoy it so much. But I'm still trying to grow. I just made it to 5,000. I'm super happy about that. That's a big deal to me, and some people are like, yeah, whatever. It's like, well, it's a big deal to me. I'm proud of that. I've worked hard to get to this point, and I've actually been doing this for, I think, a year now. It's only been 7 months that I've been doing it real. I mean, I got monetized, and I take it seriously. It's a job to me, and I really try and to get better at it, and I'm learning from you guys. And that's another thing. I have all these new YouTube channels that I'm recommending in the description, and I don't understand why half of those aren't doing better than they are, because they have great content, they have great style. And so I don't know. I can't even tell you. I don't understand it. It's got something to do with YouTube's algorithms or whatever. I wish I could help you, because I think you guys are amazing, and I'm enjoying watching and learning from all of you guys. So I guess just be consistent. Don't give up. If you know what you've got something good, and you enjoy doing it, just keep doing it. Eventually people are going to catch on, and I hope. And that's why I think it's important that we promote each other, and because YouTube doesn't. And a lot of these channels I only found through other channels. They let me know, and it's like, I would have never found them. So I'm grateful when people recommend other channels, because there's a lot out there that I'm missing that YouTube won't show me. So I got to find myself. So anyway, I better let you go. It's going to be an hour-long video, and I wanted to show you, if you want to watch, what we did today. It was just a typical Sunday. Not typical. My granddaughter's here for the month, so we're just enjoying having her here, and kids are a lot of work, which I don't mind. I love having her here, but there's more dishes, more laundry, more stuff. She likes to craft like her Nana, and we leave all the stuff out, but I don't entertain, so it don't matter if my house is somewhat messy. I know it drives some of you crazy, and I get it, but I don't mind. I really don't. To me, it's her, and I have her here, and I'm trying to just absorb it all and enjoy having her here. So with that, I'm going to let you go. Remember, go visit JB. I think it's BEA, JAYBEA. He's great, and I think you guys will appreciate him. And then I'll leave a bunch of other. I got a couple new ones too, if you haven't seen, and I'll talk about them in future videos. But I'm going to share their link for now. You go check them out, see what you think, and then we'll talk about them in a future video. So I hope you guys are having a great day, and yeah, stick around. I've got just a few minutes, just showing you our chores if you want to watch. So anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.
These are the different sections I'm making. And I just want to Hey, Papa. Do you have a pen?
A pen, like a writing pen?
Yeah, so like this is my, so I just took the back of an aluminum can and I checked just what I needed off of it.
Oh,
So
wow.
now I'm pulling them out. I did that.
The difference it makes.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to film it before and after.
Oh, I was going to show you mine, but
The difference. I want to see what it's going to look like afterwards. So, yeah, you can see the difference. It's looking a lot better. And then next weekend we can maybe, well, not even next weekend. We'll find some time to do the wax. We got too much going on, I know.
it's on its way.
Okay, before we finish, I just want to show you the pumpkins again. I think I showed them to you guys last week. And Can you believe the difference just a couple days makes with these? It's insane. They grow so fast. So yeah, these will be ready by September, if not sooner. Did I show you that? My husband made that out of an old ceiling fan. He's artistic too. So yeah, they're looking good. And I didn't get Jazz at all in any of the video today. I can't believe it. It's because he's been outside. He's loving it. It's actually nice out today. Getting ready to cook dinner on the barbecue grill. And it is, yep, in the shade. Actually, it wasn't too bad today. I think it was like 95 for us. That is not too shabby.